Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Smokin.
That's right. It's Kneecap Biting with Smokin' Jeremy B. I have my fellow Bengals fan, Shannon G, joining me tonight with our little NFL Roundtable Talk. I'm going to be addressing the viewers as their comments come in. Killa Cook says, JB, I might have landed an outstanding opportunity for myself. I'll let you know tomorrow when I find out for sure or not. Fantastic there, Brennan. And this is Keegan Eckert saying, hey, guys. Well, let's get into it. My first topic is Vegas has the odds for the next coach to be fired, as the highest opportunity for it is Nathaniel Hackett. Somebody I said that it probably should have been for 3 weeks now. Is it all him? Is it Russell Wilson is starting to decline due to his age and his minuscule size? You know, he is only an inch taller than Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
I mean, I
really think that's a combination of both. I mean, you got to think 2 years before he come to the Broncos, he was struggling in Seattle. Wilson was. And I also don't think Seattle really gave him a lot of help in those 2 years either, in my opinion, just looking at it. My wife's grew on up. She was a big Seahawks fan. She's more of a Titans fan now, but I used to follow them because they had a lot of run-ins with the Bengals back in the days with Boomer and everything. So, you know, I can remember Brian Bosworth getting run over by Bo Jackson. So anyway, I know that jumps to a lot of other stuff, but you know what I'm saying. I don't know. I think it's a combination of both. And I think that Denver's going to be paying for it. They can't get it. It's like
this regime,
yeah.
this regime attached that big horse right to Russell Wilson. Absolutely. They gave away 3 players, 2 of them big named in a way, you know, Drew Lock, Noah Fant.
Yeah.
And then they threw in, what was it, Sheldon Harris, I think it was, a defensive tackle, or Sheldon Brown, somebody like that.
I think it was Brown. I think it was Sheldon Brown. Yeah, I think so.
And then 2 firsts, a second, and 2 thirds.
I believe you're right.
So 5 picks, 3 players to get a guy that can't win more than 4 games, who's fantasy value wise for starting quarterbacks just this past week, he ranked 33rd because Shelby Harris. So, okay, that's it. All right.
Yeah.
And anyways, he ranked 33rd out of all the quarterbacks that played on Sunday. And the only reason why is he actually ranked behind the one quarter that Jordan Love played for Green Bay.
That's sad.
How bad do you have to be? I heard that there were some quarterbacks that had some real snoozers of games too, and he was behind all of them.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's shocking to hear that, but and QBR wise, he ranks 31 out of the 35 starting QBs for the season.
So I'm pretty sure Matt Ryan's back behind somewhere in that range with him and Russell, and probably Darnold, probably Wilson. Wilson. I mean, you know, I'm just guessing. You said 31, so I'm just trying to guess the 32 through 35. I mean, you know, I could be wrong. I don't look at stuff like I used to, so.
Killa Cook asked me, yo, JB, so the Rams and the Bears had the same record when the Lions play the Bears. Do you think the Lions take the L to secure the number 2 pick in back-to-back years? I doubt it would be worth. No, it's not worth considering. They're trying to get away from that losing culture, so they're going to play to win. If they lose, they lose.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you.
And my dad says, hey.
Ooh.
Lion, the confirmed new hater and SOLer. I bet Carson Wentz is below Russ or higher. He is higher. He is ranked higher.
Yeah,
Carson Wentz is ranked higher than Russell Wilson right now.
that's crazy, isn't it?
Mac Jones is behind him. And I think Davis Mills is the only other one.
Okay. That's what I was curious about, because that's what I was just trying to guess, and I was naming guys that are obviously above Russ, but I was just what I've heard with Matt Ryan, and this year anyway. I'm not talking about, but
That being said, and he asked another one, Campbell said he's not focusing on the playoffs. Thoughts? Because if they focus on it, he's going to stress too much, and he's not going to coach the same way. If it happens, it happens. Brad Holmes said before the season, the playoffs were not the focus this year anyways. So I don't know why. It's more the fans putting the focus on the fact that they're still in it. Let the games fall how they fall. If we make it there, hallelujah, it's a better season than we thought. If they don't, it's already a better season than last year by accident.
yeah.
That being said, on to our next subject, Shannon. This is one right up your alley since you're the Bengals fan. Bengals are keeping Jamar Chase out another week. Smart move or no?
I like it. I mean, if they haven't seen the progress, I mean, he was out there on the field in the Tennessee game right before the game, and I don't think there's something they didn't say that they did. I mean, the prognostication was 4 to 6 weeks, but I mean, and that's what a lot of my buddies at work say. Well, he's going to be gone for the season. I'd rather them, if they can keep on winning without him, I would try it, and then when it comes down to the Ravens and the Bills, that's when I'd probably play him. I know it sounds crazy, especially if they keep getting production. But people are going to focus on P. Ryan, especially 2 weeks in a row now. I mean, I know he didn't do like he did in Pittsburgh with the 4 touchdowns, but he did enough to make them think. And I don't know how Mixon, I hadn't heard the call on Mixon if he's actually going to play.
Quinn Cook comes in and says, hey, JB, and we see James Houston, the problem, says, just glad I got called up. I'm just glad you showed up. Because he had one hell of a rookie debut. He made Lions history as the first rookie in his first game to have multiple sacks. That's huge. And Keegan Eckert says that was a smart move. They need him healthy for the next couple of weeks so he can play in the playoffs. Absolutely. Yeah, and he goes, oh, he's getting my camo salute to service Manny Rodriguez helmet tomorrow. That's awesome, brother. No, I agree it's a smart move. Number one, you need him for the long haul. You need him for the playoffs. A game that's not even against a division rival isn't the biggest thing in the world, whether you win or lose. It does help the overall record. But in the division-wise, doesn't it come down to not only overall record, but division record too?
It does. I mean, right now, the best they could do is 3-3.
Hey, that's a split down the middle.
Yeah, I'll take split down the middle. I mean, they was 4-2 last year and lost both for the Brownies, so they need to take care. They need. They need to.
Y'all need to figure out how to beat the Brownies, because the Brownies have had y'all's number for the last 5 years.
Well, and now they got Deshaun Watson playing when we play again, so that makes it another. I mean, this was Jacoby Brissett, and then, like you said, Mayfield, and I can't. It feels like it's been 10 years since we beat them. But, I mean, I know the Bengals have beat them, like you said, at least once in the last 6 years. But I don't know. It just frustrates me to talk about that. I mean, because, anyway.
Well, let's see. If the play...
Right now, we'd play, if the playoffs started today, the Bengals would play the Titans in Nashville for wild card.
As long as the Rams and the Bears have the same record, the picks right now don't matter because they do a coin flip at the end of the season, or it's heads up play. So if the Bears and Rams play each other, that's the only way that makes a difference, which they don't. So it could be the second pick still. They don't know what a third or second pick means right now, as long as they have the same record at the end of the season. So we're not playing to lose. We're not playing. That makes no sense. I'm sorry, but Quinn, but Brendan just asked that question like about 5 minutes before you hopped on. But I appreciate it. I get it. And now the last one is, if the playoffs ended today, you would have basically the whole NFC East and the whole AFC East in the playoffs, plus the division leaders everywhere else.
Right.
So you would have what? Minnesota. In the South, you'd have Tampa Bay by a half game right now.
Mm-hmm.
And also because of the heads up play. And then in the West, you'd have the 49ers.
Right. The Winers. And the 3 wild cards would be 2 NFC. Well, all
three NFC East.
NFC.
It'd be the Cowboys, it'd be the Giants, and the Foreskins.
The Foreskins. That's crazy.
Oh, talking a little NFL talk, King SJ. And I actually expected the Rams pick to be lower than the Lions this year. I said it in the offseason. I said I don't see how they're going to repeat. They lost too much talent. They didn't replace it with enough, and they're going to struggle.
I agree. They have. I mean, you lose OBJ and then Von Miller. I mean, that right there, those two. And then lineman that retired, used to play with Whitworth. So, I mean,
then Eric Weddle retired.
Absolutely. So, I mean, that's
I'm quite sure Aaron Donald might be faking his high ankle sprain. That wouldn't surprise me, because he didn't sign up to play for a crap team.
Right.
But,
yeah.
And no one's impressed with you either, Mike Valenti or Rico Beard. Y'all can talk your crap as much as you want. We all know they're fake accounts. That being said, I think it's the 49ers in the NFC. And in the AFC, I mean, right now it'd be Baltimore. In the West, it would, of course, be the Chiefs. And in the South is Tennessee.
Yeah.
So,
because everybody forgets the Bills, they also have to win a division. They're like us. They have to win a division game, and I believe they're still 0-2. But so they still have 4 more games. They still have 2-2 with. I think they lost to the Dolphins and the Jets. I know, and they still got to play the Patriots. I guess both times, and the Dolphins and Jets each a game apiece. So.
Yes, I remember that combo there, Brennan. Oh, man. That being said, that's pretty much all the topics. It's time to get to the fun part of the week, which is the weekly Pick Ems. And the Thursday night game, we finally got a good team versus an okay team. You got Buffalo versus New England. Who you taking tomorrow night?
I just, like you said, where's it at? Is it New England?
It's in New England.
I would give the edge just slightly to the Pats, just because the way Josh just kind of reverted back to when he didn't have Daboll and a lot of other stuff going on.
I'm going to give it to Buffalo.
It'll be a good game. It'll be a close game. I don't think it'll be a big. I'm guessing anywhere between 3.
And Ken Paulrick says Bills. Quinn Cook says Bills. And Grandizer pops in and says the Detroit Lions versus Jacksonville Jaguars history. 2 teams have met each other 7 times, with the Lions winning 4 games and the Jaguars winning 3. The Detroit Lions lead the series 4-3. Cat fight. No pity for the other kitty. Guttural meowing, sighing, screeching, hissing, yowling, and growling. I like it. All right. Next up, we got the Schittsburg Squealers going to face the Atlanta Falcons. Who you guys got? And Grandizer's picking the Pats with you. So we got a 50-50 split between the crowd and you. I just think that Bills defense has got enough to stop.
Well, I mean,
them.
Well, I mean, there's not much to try to stop with New England, really. I mean, so I see what you're saying, but just because it's in
my dad says Steelers, Keegan Eckert says the Falcons, and Quinn Cook says Falcons and Troy with an interception and 2 sacks. I hope he gets to play enough to do that. But anyways, Shannon, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm hoping it's the Falcons.
You're hoping it's the Falcons. I took the Steelers. I'm siding with my dad this week because the Falcons just haven't been able to finish games or start games. I mean, they have.
They played the second and part of the third quarter.
Hey, Quinn, I'm glad he's starting to get comfortable in that system. But we're up on the next game, and it's a division game from the NFC North. It's Green Bay versus Chicago. Okay. So you got the Packers versus the Bears. Who you got?
I'll go Bears.
Bears?
Yeah, shits and giggles. Bears.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears win this game with it being in Chicago.
Yeah, that's why I said that.
But I'm picking Green Bay just because the Bears haven't been able to beat Green Bay in forever.
Well, it's true, but yeah.
I mean, just in the last 5 years, it's 1-9. It's kind of like, no, excuse me, 1-10 now. This will be the 12th meeting in the last 6. My dad's picking the Bears. He's saying Chicago.
Wow.
I don't think Rodgers is right. His throw's been off since that finger hand. You're absolutely right. It has been, but for some reason, they show up versus the Bears.
Division game. It just everybody. I think everybody
and
gives
Keegan
their
Eckert,
best.
Yeah, that's exactly why I said it. I would choose Chicago, but Rodgers is playing, so I got the Green Bay Criers. Next up, we got the New York Jets at Minnesota, and I'm taking the Jets. That line started out as a 6-point line. After the games are over Monday, it's down to 2.5. They know something in Vegas.
Yeah, I don't know what they know, but I'm like you, Jeremy. I'm going to go with the Jets, too. Because usually after the Vikings have a big game, they tend to have a letdown. So that's another thing, too.
Quinn Cook says Jets. Rod Marinelli says, I want to coach Aiden Hutchinson. I bet you do. Should have been a good enough coach to keep your job. He says Jets. Grandizer agrees with the Packers. Lion King says Vikings. I hope the Jets soar over the Skull Pack. After that, we got the Washington facing the New York Giants, the faltering New York Giants, no less.
Foreskins.
And Mike White is still starting. So you're taking the Foreskins?
Yeah.
I'm on the opposite. Oh, no, I did. I took the Foreskins, too.
It's this time of year for them.
Yeah, it's the time of year where the foreskins get rubbed. They are a wallet that turns into a suitcase.
Absolutely.
Agree, Jets, their defense. So panel, who you taking? New York Giants or Washington? Washington defense is starting to look nasty now that they're healthy too.
Yeah, they are.
And then we got the Tennessee Titans traveling to Philadelphia. I got 1, 2, 3 Washington and 2 New York Giants. Keith Zeckert says Leonard's dropping balls team. DC8091 says hail to the Redskins. Welcome in, brother. We got and Quinn Cook says Philly. Who do you got, Shannon?
Yeah. I think AJ Brown's going to show out against the hapless secondary. I mean, I love if Autry and all those guys are healthy on the D line, it might be a long night for Hurts, but we'll see. But I'm gonna go with the Eagles, the Eagles.
I got the Eagles as well, and we got 1, 2, 3 Eagles right there. We got Quinn Cook, Ken Ballrick, and Keegan Eckert saying that. And Killa Cook says my internet is bipolar as fuck, has been off and on. And Grandizer also picks the Eagles, so it's almost a clean sweep there. I think it is. Then we got the Denver Broncos. I'm dead inside versus the Baltimore Ravens. Raise your hand if you're picking the Broncos. That's what I thought.
I'd love to.
Shannon is just outside of Nashville, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I am. Yes, just outside. Born and raised in Tennessee all my life.
I want Atlanta to lose. So do I. And we got Ravens. Quinn Cook. Broncos are a clown show. Ravens take the win. Ravens. Baltimore running backs. I mean, they traded away their best defensive weapon again. Last year they traded away Von Miller. This year they traded away Bradley Chubb. It's like they're saying, here, we want to take the loss. We want to give Seattle a top 5 pick.
Sounds like.
Just like the Rams want to lose and give the Lions a top 5 pick. Oh, did I say that out loud? Next up on that is Cleveland at Houston. And it is Deshaun Watson's return. And Grandizer also picks the Ravens. So, Cleveland at Houston. Who you got?
I'll go with the Brownies and the massage tables.
I say the massage table Brownies are going to win too. Watson goes off versus.
I don't disagree.
They traded Chubb away to start Benito. That's fine. Yeah, the Browns do win easy because Texans want that number 1 pick. They want either C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young or whoever they think is that guy.
I think, Bryce Young from Bama. I don't know.
I don't know about him either. He's already missed a game and a half due to injury. Funny. Keegan Ecker says, funny thing is Donald is out in Cleveland in the 17 sexual assaults. Lion King says Watson. And Grandizer says Browns. Keegan's on a roll tonight.
Yeah. Why I threw out the massage tables because I knew I couldn't beat what Keegan said, so I just said the massage table.
Then we got the Seattle Sea Chickens going on to take out the L.A. Ramless Rams.
I'd go with the Sea Chickens.
I'm taking the Sea Chickens too. Vegas is trying to trade up to 1 and swap picks. It's all over. Haha. They can't trade up. They traded their first round picks already to get Devontae.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of early to be trying to trade up already. Sea Chickens. And Quinn Cook says Seattle. Ooh-wee. Yeah, it's been a long week already.
I know. Trust me, I know.
And then we got Miami at San Francisco. Who you got, Shannon?
Wow. That'll be that. I know this is going to sound crazy being a Bengals fan. That could be a potential Super Bowl matchup.
Killer Cook says Seacocks win. Keegan Eckerd says Seaballs over the Amps. King SJ says the Sea Chickens.
What do you think, Jeremy? I mean, as far as the Miami San Fran, it's in San Fran, right?
It's in San Fran. I'm taking San Francisco. That defense is legit. They are
Yeah, I
shutting
know.
down everybody. King
Yeah,
SJ says Frisco, 49ers, and it's Waller and Jacobs and a load of picks for one. It was the NFL Network with just another bullshit rumor. Oh. Seattle and 49ers. 49ers, but Finns will put up a fight. Oh, I agree with that.
Oh, yeah. They're not going to, yeah. Plus, like you said, it's a non-conference game, so that really, they take care of us.
Then we got the LA Chargers facing the Raiders. I always say it that way. I don't know why.
Everybody does. I might say a little more twangy since I'm
Quinn Cook says Dolphins by 3. Wow. If that happens, you are Nostra Cook. And Quinn Cook says the Chargers will win. What do you think there? Chargers or Raiders? Chargers?
Chargers.
I agree. And King SJ says Frisco could be getting going at the right time. Tie trap game for both teams. King SJ says Chargers. I think it's the Chargers. My dad thinks it's the Chargers. And you say the Chargers too?
Yes, I agree. Chargers.
Killer Cook says Chargers, but want the Raiders to win. And then we got the Indianapolis Jeff Saturday. I have no time clock management Colts versus the Dallas Cowgirls.
Cowgirls.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Charge the coach firing Chargers. I'm taking the Cowgirls. Who you guys got, people? Cowgirls. Quinn Cook says Cowboys. Grandizer says Finns at 49ers tie. Cowboys, but hopefully the Colts win. I hope Indy, but picking the Cow Pies. And then on Monday Night Football, I save our teams for last. I do Shannon's team, and then I do our matchup last because I just feel like whoever's on, their team should be also with mine at the end. Our Monday Night Football game, it is a division rivalry. We've got New Orleans Saints versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You go with Tampa Bay.
You're going to go with Tampa Bay? Since it's in Tampa Bay, I picked Tampa Bay as well. Cowgirls will win, but Saturday we'll be busy looking at the cheerleaders. Yeah, that's most of us.
Yeah.
My dad says Bucks.
That's what I said in Thanksgiving. I said that's the best part of the Dallas Cowboys is their cheerleaders.
That's awesome that they play Saturday. That's the championship, right? Bucks. Taints win, hopefully. Just letting you know, JB. Beige water pistol. I got the Aints. I'm glad my nicknames catch on.
Beige water pistol. Beige.
And now we are to Kansas City comes into Cincinnati to face The Bengals. I almost called them
Yeah.
the Bungles
Oh,
because
man.
the reason why I say that is I just feel like it's going to be a bad game. Kansas City's been traveling well. It's not that far from Kansas City to go there. They're not like they're traveling 3 time zones in any direction.
No, but if you go, and maybe I'm just looking at it like this. You go back and look at the last few matchups when they've come to Cincinnati, they haven't played very well. We're not 100% healthy with
That's the
Chase
other
being
thing.
there. But I think, I mean, I think the Chiefs are overrated, and just not just because I'm a Bengals fan. I'm gonna go with the Bengals at home because I think they need to
They've
win
won
worse than
7 in a row. I don't think they're overrated.
I just, I mean, I just,
I know. I know you're
play,
biased.
I'm well that. I mean, the thing of it is uh, the Chiefs have to prove to me, yeah, Mahomes has won a Super Bowl, but it seems like he's lost more in the playoffs than he's won. So, and I know it's not the playoffs. So, but yeah, Bengals by 3.
You got Bengals by 3. Well, unfortunately I picked against you for once this week.
That's fine.
I oh, it's Tom. Grinchy Claus. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Chiefs versus Bengals. Who you taking in Cincinnati?
Bengals.
Okay. Killer Cook's being mean right now. He says Chiefs 53-3. They haven't done that to anybody.
No, I'm not going to either.
But he says, and be honest, I think the score will be 27-14 with the Chiefs winning. I actually expect it to be lower scoring because both defenses are starting to come around at the right time. But I just feel like the Chiefs are going to win. That's just my personal opinion.
Shannon's the Bengals guy, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yep. And now we're to the Crapsonville Crap Wires versus the Detroit Lions in a battle of the big cats in the NFL.
Oh,
And my dad brings up one big point. Mahomes has not lost a game in November or December yet. He's 26-0.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Well, like you said, this is when the defense starts to come around.
Yeah, both defenses are coming around. And this is when their defense comes around. That defense, for some reason, always starts slow and gels about week 5 or 6, and all of a sudden they go on a tear.
yeah.
It's
Like
like
I said, close
actually,
game. Sorry, Grinchy. Didn't mean to jump over you.
And Quinn Cook says Lions by 14 unless Goff is a bum again and throws a god-awful pass again to take the lead.
I hate to upset you, Jeremy, but I'm gonna go with the Jags. I think they got a little bit of something going on there
It's
now.
in Detroit, so I'm choosing Detroit, of course. Well, who you got, Dom?
what's the spread?
Lions by 4? No, I'm joking. It's they're saying them by 3. That's why we're going to win.
Oh, they're giving Jags 3 in a road game.
Yeah.
No, they're giving us 3 in a road game.
It's at home.
No, they are on the road
Oh,
giving us 3 when we're at home.
well, unfortunately, I have to stick with my same result, but for different reasons. I'm taking the Jags, but
Sure.
because last week it looked like it kind of looked like why am I drawing a blank name? Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah,
Kind
sure once.
of a party. They beat someone pretty good last week, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, they kept on fighting against the Ravens.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Killer Cook says Crapsonville 783-2 because every time I hate we win besides versus the Bills, Travis Etienne will run for 420 yards.
Our run defense is much improved. Pass defense is kind of shaky.
Lions.
And now it looks like finally Lawrence has developed some chemistry with someone besides Christian Kirk. Zay Jones busted out last week.
Yeah. I saw that. On your bench?
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to, but I'm taking Jacksonville. Can't even say because Lions. I just think.
Dom, you don't get the joke?
What joke?
What he said. Every time I hate we win besides versus the Bills.
We should have beat the Bills.
We should have. It should have went to overtime. Had we ran on 3rd and 1, it might have.
yeah, I agree with you on that. I should have beat the Bills Thanksgiving.
Or, manage the clock better at the end of either half.
I know. It is something he's getting slowly better, but it's not coming around fast enough. We've seen some maturation. He's not going for it on 4th down enough. Hallelujah. He's taking the points when he's in the red zone.
Because he can finally trust the defense a little bit.
And trust the kicker.
Mm-hmm.
You could say Goff should have hit the wide receiver. He should have ran the ball. It was 3rd and 1. It wasn't 3rd and 9. If it was 3rd and 9, you pass all day. If it's 3rd and 1, you run. Especially with less than 2 minutes on the clock.
When we got the ball at the beginning of that drive, we never should have thrown it until we absolutely had to. Williams wasn't having a great game, but he was still averaging the magic number.
5.
No, 3.3. If he's averaging over 3.3, that means run it again, and you're getting a first down.
And he was averaging that. He was averaging almost 5. That's what I'm saying. He was at that 4.8 mark, I think, or 4.6.
Like that was exactly the situation that we were in, that this team is tailor-made to excel. Chew up clock, never get the ball back, or get back to him with,
because we wouldn't have had to kick a field goal right away if it wasn't an incomplete pass. If we'd have ran that ball and even gained a half a yard, I'd have went for it on 4th down and tried to let the clock run down.
Right.
Or at least get them to burn their last timeout, then kick the field goal.
Exactly. Why is it that, granted, we're smarter than the average bear when it comes to late game management, but why is it that
that particular 4th down, I wasn't that upset with them going for it, because at that point, it was a turning point where they could have got back in the game. If they'd have just kicked the ball away and the Bills scored again, the game was out of reach. When they went for it in our end, it was close enough that if they got it, it meant more than if they kicked the ball away.
Really what it is it's the same. And there's not much of a difference from last year as far as how these games end up panning out. Just we've got a little bit more talent, so we're in more games than we normally would be, but we're not a good team yet, so we're going to lose a lot of those close games. Hopefully.
And it hasn't been because of refs.
No.
We've actually been very disciplined this year compared to last year. And I've actually been very impressed with that. And Shannon, you are froze solid, buddy.
I wouldn't say that we're, getting the benefit out on a lot of calls, but we're not getting screwed by calls anymore.
Right.
You have to respect us. I have buddies that are Bills fans, and them on their win. I'm like, hey, good game. And he's like, yeah, good game. You guys are tough. And we are.
Yeah. Every good team that we put up a fight against has said how tough it is to play us. The Eagles, the Bills, Minnesota.
Well, Minnesota's not good.
Minnesota was good.
Right.
I'm just saying
record.
they got a good record.
They're not as bad as that
team in Wisconsin.
Right. Well, they're not as bad as that Steelers team from a couple years ago that was the last one to be undefeated, but they're not that good either. And they're going nowhere in the.
Man, your guys' Quinn and Killa, your guys' hate on Goff is a little overbearing. He was not bad.
They do hate Goff.
Yeah, I know.
And I get it, but
really, I'm not being David Pike. So save that stuff for his show.
Here's the thing. This could be.
Oh, wait. He's ranked dead last for average pass targets. Why? Because we're running the ball more than we're passing it.
The only complaint I have about Jared Goff that spreads across the whole season, and really it's a minor one. His completion percentage is like 63 or 64 instead of high 60s. Other than that, he's going to pass for 4,000 yards.
And Killa Cook, you're absolutely wrong. The worst starting quarterback in the NFL right now is Davis Mills. Number 31 is Mac Jones. Number 30 is Russell Wilson. And on the quarterback power ranking, Goff is actually ranked like 17th right now, so you're way off base.
Right what he is. You can't blame Goff for maybe one loss, maybe, and who knows if it was even really on him. I mean, the one where he had those fumbles, yeah, you could maybe put that on him.
That was the Dallas game,
right? It's Goff. He's not going to win you a bunch of games. He's not going to lose you a bunch of games.
He is an average QB. I have never called him the savior or anything like that. So please save your Goff hate for somebody that thinks he's the best thing since sliced bread.
I want to know who the minimally two jerks are. One that named him Mr. Perfect, and two, the one that let it make its way onto Pro Football Reference.
Who?
Go look up Jared Goff on Pro Football Reference. One of his nicknames is Mr. Perfect. But the sports reference pages are good for made up nicknames. What I'm saying, they were talking about it on the radio earlier. That Rams pick is going to be no worse than 3.
I know.
And
everybody's griping that we should.
Houston has too tough of a schedule for the Rams to probably overtake them. But if they can get 2 wins.
Tannehill has been starting there, Keegan Eckert.
If Houston can get 2 wins, they have a tie, which means that Rams pick is number 1. And either we can trade it or we take fucking Bryce.
No, we take Will Anderson and say, screw it.
I agree.
Yeah, I think you ought to get Will Anderson.
I think whether we're at 1, 2, or 3 with that, or 1, 2, 3, or 4, we could end up with Will Anderson. It's at 5 is where it gets sketchy,
right?
Because one of those teams will take him.
I'm just saying if we were to take a quarterback and we get it right, that's the turning point. This is the closest thing. Like they don't.
And I completely agree with this statement by Killa Cook. Bryce Young will be the worst QB in this class.
I mean, I don't like Bryce Young. But what if we're wrong?
He's an inch taller than Kyler Murray and an inch shorter than Russell Wilson. He's already been hurt for a game and a half this year.
And he's an Alabama quarterback, so I don't.
And he's an Alabama quarterback.
But I don't want Stroud either.
And I don't want Stroud either. I want either Will Anderson or the defensive tackle Jalen Carter. That's who I want in the top 5.
Our quarterback, if we even take one, which I assume we will, but our quarterback is to be found in the 3rd round or later.
Yep, I'd say 5th or later myself, but I mean, like if somebody falls that isn't supposed to, that's different.
You're going for Hendon Hooker then.
Oh, he'll be had on the cheap.
No, after a blown ACL, I'm not drafting him.
Well, I mean, look at
It's
Joe
his
Burrow.
athleticism.
Joe Burrow. I'm just saying. I'm
Well,
not saying he's Joe Burrow because everybody's not going to say that because of the South Carolina game, but a lot of people don't realize there was a lot of course, the Vols are going to deny this, but there was some infighting between the defensive captain and the offensive captain.
And I
that's one of the-
completely agree. Because if we trade back and end up getting a first round pick next year, you trade up to 1 and you get this guy, get Caleb Williams from USC next year in 2024 when the draft is in Detroit.
I would rather that. But what if Chicago offered us their pick, which will probably still be top 5 for our number 1, Fields?
No.
I tend to say no too, but look what he's done behind an awful O-line.
I know, but
He's just not good enough.
what he's not good enough in the pocket. That's the problem.
We don't know though, because he hasn't had
his passing from the pocket when he's had a clean pocket has not been good. His passing is better when he's on the run, evading. That's what I've seen.
That's all mobile quarterbacks, though. You're either a mobile quarterback or you're a pocket passer.
I think C.J. Stroud is miles better than Dwayne Haskins was coming out because he was developed mostly in college.
Haskins, rest in peace, got a bum deal in Washington. It's funny because my buddy Shannon, an Ohio State fan and a Bengals fan, he wanted Haskins in Cincinnati.
Yeah. You can see me shaking my head.
That means he was probably an Ohio State slappy homer.
He was.
Yep.
Haskins looks like he could have been starting to make that turn when he got traded to the Steelers, that he was starting to learn shit and everything else. But I don't know what all was in his system. When I know they say he was inebriated, drunk. Then I heard other things later on, but I'm not going to get into that because I don't like to talk ill of the dead.
Absolutely.
It was just an absolute travesty what happened to him. And it was the worst accident that I've heard of in the off season, other than Henry Ruggs doing 120 and a 25, killing an innocent victim.
What about Chris Henry?
I mean, there's been some bad ones. I know.
My thing about who let him do that?
Right.
You know,
who let Henry Ruggs drive away from wherever he was at drinking that much? Who let Cam Newton drive away drunk the night he hurt his back and was never the same quarterback again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I separate feelings about it.
But you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Prior to that injury, he looked like he was going to be the greatest running quarterback there ever was.
If he would have just fixed his accuracy sooner, he should have been the best quarterback of all time.
I understand, but I'm saying once that back injury happened, it got worse.
Yeah, that's what happens when you want time, even our like Michael Vick, he became more of a pocket passer, still mobile. You know what Michael Vick reminds me of? Like to the T, Mike Tyson.
Bunch of little quick jabs, and all of a sudden, boom, he swings a knockout punch.
Right, and lost most of his prime to prison.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm not wrong. Couple quick little jabs, and boom, he swings the uppercut. That's what Vic was.
Yeah.
People forget. Like, he just flicked his wrist, and that ball went 70 yards.
I still remember that commercial when they came out with that first Finn Nerf football.
Yeah, he threw it over the stadium.
Threw it over the stadium.
Yeah.
On the first take.
Yeah.
Mike Vick and Randall Cunningham, same dude.
Without the dog fighting.
Right.
But yeah, I know what you're saying. I agree.
And Randall Cunningham was a better punter.
Yes.
Yes, he was.
Didn't he pooch punt?
Yeah.
He did, but he also kicked one about 60 yards in the air, and then it bounced 20 more.
Yeah. He did that.
So
Athlete, the longest.
word is Matt Ariza is losing his criminal case.
Oh, yeah?
The punt, the punt god.
Yeah. Did you see it? Well, here, look. Former Bengal and quarterback. Do you hear about John Kitna's son?
Yes. I posted a funny meme about it in the chat. You got to go look at it, Dom. You'll love it.
Yeah. Hard to laugh about related to.
Yeah, it's got a South Park theme to it.
Okay.
It's funny. It's funny. Too soon, but it's funny. DC 8091 Vic was better than Cunningham. Then there was prison, so there's that. But he came back and actually played well for quite a few games for Philly. When who was it that went down then? Was that the end of Donovan McNabb when he had to play?
McNabb, maybe Jeff Garcia, maybe Kevin Cobb. They also had Young at the time.
That's hard to believe it's been that long ago. You're probably right, though.
I thought it was the end of McNabb when he got out of prison because Andy Reid left. McNabb was still there.
Vince is dumb as Monday morning at work is long. He kind of.
Well, guys, I want to say thank you to everybody for watching Kneecap Biting with Smokin' Jeremy B. It has been a great show as always. And Vic was actually a good QB. That's what I said. He was a good QB when he came back. I want to say, Shannon, you got any final thoughts for tonight?
Just it's good to get back on here with you guys. I enjoyed sports talk as always. Hopefully I'll see y'all next Wednesday.
You're more than welcome back every week. Dom, you got any final thoughts tonight?
Go line. Are we going to see JMO this week? No. Go Lions. Watch out for that Trevor Lawrence, Zay Jones connection. That's it.
King SJ says, thanks a lot. Good night. Ken Ballrick says, one pride. And I'm going to say my show will end the same way I always do. Try every day to be a better person you were the day before. It's the only way to make the world a better place. This has been Kneecap Biting with Smokin' Jeremy B. We are sponsored by FTP, and no, it's not the florist. It is Fuck the Packers. We are also sponsored by A1 Tire and Auto Repair. 3 locations to serve you. We got the one I work at in Saginaw and Genesee, the one in Bay City on Broadway, and at Cawcolin. Not only do we do that, we are also getting into window tinting, detailing cars, and selling used cars at a decent price. So come on out and check us out because TNT Auto Sales is in the same building. And also, Dan Leonard's Mad Lab Custom Creations. And yes, Leonard, I don't care if you hate me or not. I did pick against the Giants this week because the Foreskins are playing that good. One pride, maybe one play, but go Lions. Thanks, everybody.